Hello everyone. Welcome to the Weekly Geekly and Omega's green screen that always bleeds out stuff. So
Yeah,
bleeds more than Ric Flair.
We're a little bit late. We're a little bit late today. I actually went and had to get a beard trim and a haircut. Haven't had a chance to recolor my beard, and it took forever. So I was like, we're going to start a little late, but I wanted to make sure we got on today to chat about this week's episode of Loki and the new Shang-Chi trailer that came out 2 days ago. So we're going to talk a little bit about both of those. So I hope you guys are ready. Spoilers are in full effect if you have not seen Loki. Now that it comes out on a Wednesday, I feel like there's no reason why by Sunday you haven't watched.
You should have saw it by now. If you're interested, you should have saw it by now.
I just look at it this way: if you're watching this podcast, you're literally you've seen it.
Right.
If you haven't seen it and you're watching this, thanks.
So exactly. So but we got an amazing trailer this week. We're going to talk about that as well. What's been going on with you guys? Anything this week exciting? What's going on at Twitch, video game world? Anything?
Over at Twitch for me, we've been back on a normal schedule. We're actually streaming. I think we streamed for almost 5 hours last night, and we got started late. We streamed Phasmophobia, and we're actually really close to 400 followers, and that's actually huge considering our channel was growing pretty substantially before I had to take the break from the surgery and everything else that's been happening. So the fact that we're growing again, to me looks great. So if you guys haven't, go over to twitch.tv/cyberninja and give me a follow. It's free.
It is free. What about you, Omega?
And me, on Twitch, I really haven't been doing much. That's kind of my fault.
You're not playing 14? You're not streaming 14 over there?
No, actually, I probably can't stream 14 right now because I have a lot of mods on it. And Square Enix doesn't really like you playing with a bunch of mods.
You will get the ban hammer.
So
they will find you and they will ban you. That's what will happen.
No, it's just between the job change and all that stuff. I just kind of wasn't in the mood.
Yeah. So what's up with the job change? Give us an update on that.
I had an offer last Monday, actually. And I was like, no, I still have some other stuff floating out there. I want to see what they're offering before I go ahead and take that. I heard what the other offers are. They work to my liking. So this Monday, I have another meeting with them. So I just go ahead and take that job. So I'll hopefully be starting a new job within the next week or two, doing some tech support. So that'd be cool.
That's really good. So you had a week and a half with
I'm fine. I'm fine. Actually, I was thinking of starting the Patreon, for my more risque artwork, but
so it's like an OnlyFans for your artwork. So
actually, just kind of a thought out there, or maybe if someone wants to kick me a few bucks here and there if they like my stuff, whatever. I was thinking about it, not 100, but actually, what I was reading was my favorite. The book is practically green. My favorite RPG.
You don't say.
Source book.
Shadowrun.
Yeah. So you should definitely make a link for a PayPal or something where you could actually
if I do something like that, I'll probably start plugging at places. It's whatever.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm actually thinking about starting my game up again. Who knows? Whatever. I don't know. I'm all over the place.
What game are you talking about?
He started a D&D game. We did one session or two sessions.
Yeah, we did one session.
And the biggest problem with D&D is consistency. And if people don't show up, it's really hard to continue your story or the campaign, for instance. So in this case, I'm still down to play, but most of the other people that were playing aren't
really. So
don't want to play or just not available to play.
A little bit of both, depending on who you talk to, really.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But I'm still down to play, so it's all good.
Yeah. We should do D&D on streams one night, do a D&D stream and just play online.
That's
because I think you can do a board online where you can actually see that.
Oh yeah, we had that program all set. Yeah, we had that all set up. So if once that gets more settled, once I get basically,
I've already got a character rolled and I got my dice in the other room, so I'm good to go.
Okay, you're more than welcome.
The app allows you to roll the dice without even needing it's not the same as physical dice. I prefer physical dice, but you don't have to. It's all built into the app.
It makes it for less you can't roll here and be like, oh, I rolled 20.
Yeah, I rolled natural 20
Yeah.
You can put
that should get 20 in a row.
Dice themes, and it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right, so let's start out talking about the Shang-Chi trailer. I'm going to share couple of shots here while we're talking about it. So this trailer was the more proper trailer. The other one we got was kind of a teaser trailer.
Was so good.
Yeah. I have to say, what do you think of the suit, though? I think the suit looks really cool so far. I mean, what we've seen of it.
There's nothing about these two trailers or anything they've done that I've literally nothing. I was the most critical, saying, "Hey, we haven't seen anything. It's gonna be trash. I'm worried. I was wrong. It's amazing, and I can't wait for this to come out."
Yeah. What about you, Omega? Thoughts after going from the teaser to this trailer? Because you just saw it. So
I was kind of just in the middle of it. I was like I am with a lot of things. If I don't have a lot of information, I'm just like, okay, I'm just along for the ride. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, hey, whatever. After seeing the trailer, I'm like, oh, I am super interested now. So being that, especially the last bit of the trailer, he's fighting some weird abomination type monster. I'm super down for this. So yeah.
We haven't seen Abomination forever. I know they said that Abomination was supposed to be in the She-Hulk Disney Plus series, but I never thought that would, unless that's going to carry over from whatever happens in Shang-Chi, because I think the She-Hulk series is going to come out after Shang-Chi. So if Abomination shows up, that would be afterwards, I would guess, because I don't think there's going to be a weird time discrepancy between the two of them. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know if. Yeah, I mean, there's no way that's not Abomination, right? That's definitely Abomination.
It has to be.
Yeah, like it has to be, and I'm pretty sure that was Wong, and that is just. Don't know why they're fighting. Honestly, don't care. Just want to see it. I think it's great that he's back. I think it's weird though. I hope they explain where he's been all this time, because if he's still out and about, clearly, I mean, he's powerful. So, but I don't care. I'm happy. It looks good. I love how they showed the rings and how they work. I think it's so much better than the comics, personally.
Right. So, Thomas, you're the first person that I've heard anything say, I've heard nothing but good stuff about Black Widow. So I literally have not even seen a shit post about it being bad. I literally have heard nothing bad about it.
I haven't seen any reviews of it.
I don't.
When does it come out?
The 9th, I think.
Is the 9th? Because we need to make sure that we all get tickets for that.
Yeah. So. By the way, no offense to Grace Randolph, but she does commentary just like everybody. So her opinion is her opinion. There's a lot of people that review movies. Okay, this is the same for us, basically, for my channel. Anything we say is strictly for entertainment. We're talking commentary, we're talking our opinions. I don't want you to assume that you're going to hate something because we say it, or that is the I don't know, the blueprint for what's good and bad. I don't want you to feel that way about it.
But I am the blueprint.
So I know. I get what you're saying, Thomas. I'm just saying any review, there's always going to be someone, if everyone's saying something's good, the easiest way to bring attention to yourself is to say that something is bad.
Feel free to disagree with any one of us.
I'm always skeptical when somebody does that. It's oh, it's really, really good. And then there's that one person that's like, oh, I hated it. Let me tell you why. But
I would say that if that's someone that you value their opinion, which is why you watch them, or us, if you value the opinions, then that means you probably would feel the same way about that film or show. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it is.
Well, I always think there's always your personal feeling and then a general consensus about something. There's been tons of things that I've disliked, right? That I've been oh, I absolutely hate it. But then 95% of the world loves it. And I'm I don't get it. So it's bad to me.
Black Widow could be bad.
I mean, it could be, but I mean, we're talking overwhelmingly positive comments about it. I think if anything, it'll be average. I don't think it's going to be bad.
I would agree with average. I can't imagine that anything in there is going to be groundbreaking, considering it's
I've heard it's a mix of Winter Soldier with some of the humor from the more modern movies. And if that's the case, I'm probably going to like it. If it's a spy thriller, that's enough for me. I'm not looking for it to be groundbreaking. I mean, she's a character that's gone. I mean,
that's what I mean. I don't imagine too much to come from it other than just to be entertained. I think it'll be pretty good. But again, I could be wrong. Again, I was on the fence about Shang-Chi. I guess being on the fence is not really saying that it was going to be bad, but I was worried. I am not worried anymore. Again, so a lot of people are critical about the rings, right? About the fact that they're bracelets now, but for live action and for fighting, it seems to be a lot. I never really liked the rings. To be,
have you heard the rumors about what people think the rings are? By the way,
no, I haven't read anything.
Okay,
really.
So if you see in the trailer, there's a shot here of what I believe is Fin Fang Foom underwater with Shang-Chi. There are rumors that the reason why the rings go around people's arms is because they're supposed to go on the fingers of a dragon.
Oh, that makes sense.
And the dragon is the one that made the rings, so that's why they're so large. And they're supposed to fit like on his claws instead of a human hand.
Yeah, that works.
I think for visual appeal, it's better.
Yeah, because especially when you do a lot of fast hand moves with martial arts, you're not going to see the rings.
A ring would be, but it just
of course with Hollywood movies, it's supposed to be big and flashy, and you can't see small rings on the hands that's moving off fast. So, but you can't see them on the forearm, so that works. It's a small change. It's fine. It's whatever.
I'm okay with it.
Now, in the comics, each ring did something different. I don't know if that's the way they're going to work in this, or they're just going to grant the user like powers. You know what I mean?
I think they will be. I just think obviously there's multiple uses being done in the trailer from different people. Maybe it's just different versions of the rings. Like maybe.
So essentially, these rings are like the Earthbound version of the Infinity Gauntlet. If you collect all of them, you have like massive amounts of
superpower.
Like, yeah, because you can fly, you can shoot fire, you can read minds, you can do all kinds of stuff with these rings when you have them all together. So if one user controls all the rings, they're like Superman.
They're going to be
like powers or whatever.
These are Earth Dragon Balls. While the Infinity Stones were the Namekian Dragon Balls. Okay, I'll leave.
But yeah, so I mean, the thing is, I think they're going to streamline the way the rings work. I think the rings will work in ways, but not exactly like the comics. I think they're going to do different things than what the comics do.
Like I said, I'm okay with deviating from the comics as long as it makes sense. And in this trailer, it looks like it makes sense to me.
Now, they deviated for comics. There's so many other movies, so it's whatever.
Visually, this movie looks stunning.
Really good, man.
I hope that they learn their lesson from the second act of Black Panther with the VFX in that second act, and decided to do something different. Because as good as Black Panther was, my only real criticism
VFX were horrible.
That's my only gripe about the movie.
And that's the one movie that stands out at me. The other thing is like during Infinity War and Endgame, anytime you have a head in the Hulkbuster suit, it kind of floated a little bit. I don't know if you noticed that or not. It just didn't look right.
I didn't notice.
So if you go back and you look, there is a floating effect. But in this movie, it looks a bit more clean to me. Like the effects look a bit more I mean, look how much time they've had to work on this movie in post-production. So hopefully they use that time wisely and they were able to streamline it and whatnot. So now that we've seen the trailer and everybody is sort of saying this is going to be a big deal or whatever, I think from the looks of it, especially with the teaser about Wong and Abomination and whatnot, this is going to somehow tie into the world of Doctor Strange and the mystical arts. And
because I mean, if Wong's in the trailer
and we have a magical dragon, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's going to tie heavily into that. Do you think that there's a chance that this will tie into Doctor Strange 2 at all? It's like things that
come out first.
Yeah, Doctor Strange 2 comes out after this.
They'll probably have like
after
some
credit scene.
Yeah, after credit scene, throwaway scene.
If Wong is in it, it has to tie. There's no way Wong's in this film and it not have something to do with Doctor Strange.
Would you guys be pissed off if they did the Wong scene and then it just doesn't even address him, like he's just there and he doesn't?
Oh, like they've done with a lot of other Marvel movie trailers, how they lie to you.
Yeah. No, he means like if he's there,
he's
but
in
they
the
don't
movie, but doesn't get a speaking part.
Right, like he's just there, just as an Easter egg. If it's just an Easter egg, I would be mad because they put it in the trailer. If it was in the movie and it was just in like a background scene, that would be interesting. But the fact that she says you can take him and then it shows a quick fight scene, that means that there's something there. There's an interaction with someone in that general area. So if that's a red herring, that sucks. But hopefully it's not.
Well, also, it's funny Justin mentions this, and we talked about it. I think you mentioned it a minute ago about the Iron Fist thing. Seeing this movie and how well they seem to have grasped the concept of this Asian mystical world that we have. Do you feel like they could have done something better with Iron Fist based on what we're seeing in this trailer now?
God.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now. This trailer made me drop my rating for Iron Fist.
Oof.
Just
Has
retroactively.
nothing to do with the Iron Fist show. Just that's how much it angers me that they ruined that property. Because after seeing this, knowing what they could have done with that property, it dropped the scores. So whatever score I gave this, however many moons ago when we talked about it, it's come down. It's worse. It's worse.
You know, honestly, because not only is the stunt work and the martial arts that looks better in this trailer than anything we ever got on Iron Fist, but I can't see the Iron Fist ever fighting against Shang-Chi.
Daredevil and Defenders put Iron Fist down, right? Which is fine with me because I like Daredevil. But Iron Fist is supposed to be on this level.
Yeah, they did Iron Fist dirty.
So this is interesting. Off topic. I'm not sure I understand this. Off topic. I love you guys with everything I have. You practically saved my life when I'm down with your content. So thank you. Well, that's a great compliment. Thank you so much. I'm glad we could help.
Yeah,
you made the wake up list today.
Yeah,
that's good. That's something to be happy.
By the way, that's on his Twitter. If you want to retweet,
you made the wake up list. You woke up today. Use that.
Yeah.
Find something in your day. I don't care what it is. You woke up. Find something that makes you happy.
I agree. Thomas says, I like so many of the characters in Iron Fist, but not Iron Fist himself, the actor who plays it. Like Colleen Wing was the MVP of that show.
Yes,
for me.
she was
good.
Like easily. So Shang-Chi, guys, I'm just telling you right now, everyone that has talked about this movie being risky, it's not going to do anything. Get ready, because I think this movie is going to be insane. I think it's going to be one of those films where people that go to see it that first weekend are going to come out and tell everyone to go see it immediately. If you want something different, like people always ask for, like they don't want the standard cookie cutter like superhero movie from Marvel.
Yeah, which
it looks like
been formulated.
Yeah, but I think the next few films don't feel that way to me.
Yeah, it seems like they made like the first phase was kind of like them just kind of finding their way. That's why everything was kind of formulatic, because they didn't want to. They were afraid of messing up. Everything was kind of cookie cutter. They didn't want to stray too far. And now they're starting to take more chances. They kind of got their stride. They're feeling more confident. They're starting to take more chances and do different things. I hope that's what's going on in this phase.
So I guess the final thoughts on this is very optimistic about this film and these upcoming movies. So in the comments section,
Eternals. I'm not on the. I think that's going to be bad, but this looks great.
I like the special effects. I'm a sucker for good special effects.
I don't think it's going to be immediately bad. I'm saying that it to me is just as risky as Guardians of the Galaxy. We're going to see if it pays off for them, because that ended up like Guardians of the Galaxy almost created a new type of superhero genre in general. Like the way they did, it's almost like, I don't know, it's like an 80s movie wrapped in a 2000s production, which is something we'd never seen before. Which is why I loved it. Right. So I'm thinking Eternals has to do something similar to that, or it could go the route of Inhumans.
Because I was just thinking about it. It just hit me that the Guardians of the Galaxy movies kind of reminds me of the Masters of the Universe movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Justin says, I don't blame Finn.
There's a few parallels here and there. It just clicked in with me.
Okay.
I like the Masters of the Universe movie.
Okay. Hold on. Before we go any further, I'm going to read your comment, Justin. But before we go any further, I have heard, and I cannot confirm this, but people say if you go back and you watch that Masters of the Universe movie and don't think about it as a tie-in to like the cartoon He-Man, it's actually a good film. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think it was more based off the comics than it was the cartoon show, which I thought was good. Was it cheesy as hell? Absolutely. That's why I liked it.
Did you miss Orko?
Nah, I didn't miss Orko. I honestly didn't like.
What about Cringer?
I honestly didn't like those characters in the cartoon to begin with. So once they were gone, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't care.
Oh,
yeah, it kind of reminds me of Lex a little bit too. I like Lex.
Okay, so Justin says he doesn't blame Finn Jones, who played Iron Fist. He blames Scott Buck, the showrunner.
What does Scott Buck have something to do with Iron Fist? Was he?
He was the showrunner.
Oh my God! I didn't know that. Yeah, he did Inhumans.
He did Inhumans.
And it all makes sense now.
He did not do the second season of Iron Fist, which is why
which was good.
Yeah.
Wow. Keep in mind, how did he ever get a job with Marvel?
Wow.
I have a theory though. My theory is
fail upwards. Like a lot of these
No,
executives.
I believe that he makes promises on production time and he does it with a very cheap amount of money.
Yeah. He wins a bid pretty much.
Yeah, he's like, I can do. It's like somebody's like, I can do that in 13 weeks, and he's like, I can do it in 10, and I can do it for less. And they're like, oh, well,
okay, fine, we'll go with this. Oh, wait, this guy sucks. That's why it's so dang cheap.
Right, but that's why Marvel doesn't do that anymore, which is why I think the Disney Plus shows are even happening because of this issue with like the amount of money that they were spending on, TV content that just wasn't doing well. Because I mean, if you watched Hellstrom, you know why they decided not to do that. Although I still think we should have gotten a Ghost Rider TV show. I would have.
I think so as well. Show. I think that version of Ghost Rider should have been in the MCU more than just.
Oh, this is interesting. Agents. Did you hear that Robert Downey Jr. and Greg Berlanti production company are going to work together streaming shows for HBO Max?
Good for them.
Interesting.
Good for them. I always liked Robert Downey Jr. from back in the day, so that's fine.
Yeah, he's comeback king. He is a comeback king. He went from the bottom of the bottom to being one of the highest paid.
Like back then, I literally thought you'd be hearing about that guy like maybe 10 years, and he's just like OD'd in some ditch or something. We'd be hearing like the true Hollywood stories and whatnot. He was down a bad path.
So was Josh Brolin with alcohol to the point where now if you interview him, you can't mention the word alcohol.
Oh, really? Is that in his contract or whatever?
You can't talk about it at all.
I mean, I can understand that. Actually, like speaking of people that have like bounced back or whatever, you see a lot of times they're people that you don't expect to do things that actually do things. Like one of the big ones for me is Snoop Dogg. Like he's a family friendly celebrity now. Like he has a show with Martha Stewart, and he does his own cooking show. He's come
full circle.
Weird.
Like
when we were growing up, he was on trial for murder. I think when we were little, like he was like, murder is the case that they gave me. Like this is someone who has also been like
Ice Cube same way.
So
he went family friendly.
So it's weird for me to see the flip in that. I mean, now he's like, are we there yet? Ice Cube.
Hey, they nothing wrong with that.
So E. Clark says, I wish they had made Blade a part of the MCU. We're still getting a Blade.
We are getting a Blade.
So it is MCU. But I do think Wesley Snipes is we haven't seen. I'm sure Blade will be fine in the new one.
Mahershala Ali is a good actor.
He is good.
Exactly. So I'm sure he's going to be fine. But Wesley Snipes is great. But going back and watching those films, guys, no, I'm glad it wasn't in the MCU. They're bad.
They are fine in their own separate world.
On their own, they're fine, but
awful.
I haven't seen the third one.
Watch the third one. Please watch the third one.
I heard it was bad, so I skipped it.
Completely unrelated. I've also heard that the new Fast and the Furious movie is awful because it's just unbelievably like
I hear it's like one of those so bad it's good.
That's how they've all been since the first one.
No, someone said the last one was 5. They're like after 5, it was like
only one I remember is 3.
I love 3. I love Tokyo Drift.
Yeah,
any real car guy doesn't like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Well,
sorry. They did
a
lot for that industry, but
yeah. All right. So let's spend the last 30 minutes talking about what we watched this week, and that is Loki episode 3, Lamentis. And a lot of people on social media are calling this a filler episode or a waste of time because we only get 6 episodes. So
I can understand that thought process, but we move on.
Yeah.
Well, no, we can talk about it because the premise of this episode is we pick up after Sylvie and Loki walk through the teleportation thing or whatever, and they're going to go to the Time Variance Authority to go into the gold doors to go up and meet the timekeepers or whatever, but they get stopped on the way in, and in order to escape, Loki uses his teleporter thingy that they have and picks one of the apocalypses, that they went to or whatnot, and so it ends up being Lamentis 1, which is a moon where the planet is colliding into the moon, like they're smashing together. And they're there like within, I think she said like 12, 13 hours, something before the impact happens or whatnot. And so it's like this mining colony. And pretty much that's where the remainder of the episode takes place. It's just this conversation episode with Loki and Sylvie and like basically building a camaraderie between the two of them because they didn't really moving forward, in order for them to work together, we needed to have an episode where it focused on the two of them getting to know each other. And what better way than a train ride? I mean, that's kind of really what it was about. So you're stuck in this train. I mean, I can understand why people would consider it filler. I think with 6 episodes, could they have found a better usage of their time by doing something different?
Yeah,
maybe. Probably. But it's like almost 5.5 hours of footage. Like, this is going to be a blip in the amount of content that we're going to be getting for the remainder of the shows or whatever, or the remainder of the series. And I actually like the banter between the two of them.
Yeah.
Was it the most exciting episode that we could have? No, but Loki has proven it's not really an action-oriented show. It's a dialogue-driven show. It's a mystery-driven show. And that's kind of what it does.
It's very, very heist driven. Like, they're trying to get somewhere before deadline. And so how many things can happen before they get there?
We knew we were going to get action in WandaVision. We knew we were going to get action in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I didn't know how much action we were going to get on Loki. I really didn't know. We still have plenty of things to talk about between now, and the end of the season or whatever. But overall, is it a filler episode? I mean, it literally it ends on a cliffhanger, and it actually connects directly to things that happened in the last. I mean, yes, there may have been some fluff in the middle of it, but I don't think the whole episode was filler. I mean, I can see why people feel that way, but
I didn't think it was bad fluff. It for me, it gave me some insights on their motivations, on his motivation, her motivation, exactly what their personality and all that stuff. I just thought it was interesting.
It was very, so I didn't dislike it. What I mean by saying I can see where people say that
it's like some people just aren't into that. They're like, okay, if I get to
outside of character growth, which is fine, nothing else really happened. We did get some big revelations, like you said, motivations, as well as, understanding that, she doesn't go by Loki anymore. So, or ever, right? So we still don't know if it's an enchantress or not.
But we also know that some of her story is the same as his, like she was adopted.
Well, that's what she told
from the beginning. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's but she went out of her way to explain how her possession
magic works. Yeah.
And I don't think that was so we can understand it. I think that's so that way Loki understands it, because maybe he will use it later.
Okay.
Because if he just used it out of nowhere, we'd be like, well, how did he know how it worked?
Also, it seems like other than her having like Asgardian physiology, that's mainly her only magic ability is enchantment.
That's what it looks like.
Right. Because we haven't seen her do anything else. Like she can use it like as an energy blast. But other than that, it doesn't seem like she's done anything else magical that we've seen. So now Sylvie in the comics was... I went back and did like a brief read on some stuff on Marvel Unlimited. She was like under the Young Avengers banner. She's moved around quite a bit. She took on the name Enchantress, which the actual Enchantress didn't like, and she banished her to like another dimension. It's like, if you can survive this dimension, you can keep my name. And that's the end of Sylvie. Like, we haven't seen her after that, I don't think. I think that was the last time we saw her character.
Oh, wow.
So, and also in the comics, she wasn't really like her own independent person. It was like Loki's personality in the body of another person. So that's why they went by a different name.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that's what's going on here either. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's why she doesn't want to be called Loki, because of that reason. Because they also don't seem very similar. They have similar things, but they don't seem like the same person.
Yeah, they definitely seem like two different people. It's not like, just another person in another body talking to themselves or anything like that. It's two completely separate entities, it seems like.
Right. So we did get that revelation. We understand how our powers work and everything. And Loki talked a bit about his magic and his mother, and we got to reminisce on that a bit. She doesn't think Loki has any plans. She's like, you just did a thing. Everything he does, she doesn't really seem to be impressed with it, because she thinks,
of course,
plans require steps. They require planning.
Yeah, it's almost like he has these big grand goals with short-term views. Like, he doesn't know how to really get there, but he knows how to get past, barrier A, so to speak. So yeah.
Now Lamentis was kind of interesting to me, because it obviously looked very alien. I mean, it was a very barren, almost like moon-like planet.
That's from the comics.
So yeah. Now, in the movie or in the film side of it or whatever, were those supposed to be aliens or humans that were in a colony on this planet? Because they spoke like humans, but I'm not sure. I'm a little bit confused about that because I don't think they skipped. This is what I think. Like, I don't think they skimped on it because they weren't going to bother to skimp on like painting someone green. Like, they could do that if they want. But they went out of their way to leave them as humanoid type people.
Yeah, maybe it's something like maybe humans who look like us aren't necessarily unique to Earth. Maybe there's other planets that have people who look,
which is
very much like us, which I mean,
very
possible,
possible.
I guess.
I mean,
here's the thing. They should have had like other different.
With Guardians of the Galaxy, they should have. And Guardians of the Galaxy, when they were talking about Quill being Terran, and they never tasted Terran before,
right?
For them to have a name for someone from Earth, you would have to assume that they've run across them before. So it's not unheard of to think maybe they have somehow got out there in the world, but to still speak English, that's just a show thing.
Well,
I'm just going to assume like some universal translator.
Well, here's the thing though, it wasn't just English. Like they were talking like people that live in the Appalachians. Like they talked like people from the United States that
it's probably because it's probably just because it's coal mining area and these people are miners, so make them sound like that. That's probably what it was. I didn't think too much into that.
No, I didn't either. I just thought it was an interesting interesting way to do it.
It's TV in my mind. They do that like so many shows that science fiction shows that go to other dimensions. It's like, oh, they all speak English.
It's the Star Trek problem.
So Cody says, and I remember seeing something about this. Marvel actually revealed in a featurette Sylvie, when she was little, did have black hair, but she cut it, dyed it blonde, and may very well be projecting herself to be older. I don't know if they would do that because that would be a little weird to have a little kid doing and talking and saying some of the things she's saying. I don't know if they would do that. I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it. I really do.
I just want to like. I miss this, but I still don't understand why she wants to destroy the timekeepers. Right?
Okay, so because I believe she's a variant.
Well,
but she doesn't want to be reset because so one of the things we found out is that the timekeepers have lied to Mobius and basically everyone at the time.
They're all variants,
they're all variants, right?
We had talked about that.
And they were telling them that they created them, but that wasn't true. They were all variants. I think like on the first episode, we were like, they're probably variants. But anyway, so we got that reveal from Sylvie, and Loki seemed quite shocked about it. And so now that we know that changes kind of, now that it's been confirmed, it changes what motivations they have and what Sylvie might be alluding to here as well. Because what if someone that was abducted into the Time Variance Authority is someone she cared about? What if it was her mother? What if her mother has been brainwashed and the timekeepers turned her into an agent or something like that? Like there could be 100 different motivations for Sylvie because we don't really know that much about her. And even Loki says something about that. He's like, I don't really know that much about you, and you know a bunch about me or whatever. I feel like there's a personal reason why she's doing this. It doesn't make any sense that she wouldn't have something personal here because she's going out of her way to basically recreate the multiverse. And I think she's a variant that doesn't want to be erased. I think she's
I mean, it could be as simple as that. We've talked about this before about going out on wild tangent theories don't keep it to the show. It's probably something simple.
Right. So I think, put it in this perspective. What if she was picked up as a variant? She was taken back to the TVA and she was given the same treatment that Loki was given. Like she got to see her real life play out. Like this is what your life would have been if you wouldn't have been a variant or whatever. And what if she decided that isn't the life that she wanted, that she likes who she is now and she doesn't want to change?
Maybe
she wouldn't want to be reset.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be something as simple as that. Like I saw my life and I didn't like it, so I refused to be reset or something like that. Like, I feel like that's the direction they're going because I don't think they're going to make it super complicated. I think it's going to be a very easy to understand motivation for her because we're 3 episodes in and we don't know that much about her. So
my thing is, do we think that the show or that the timeline will allow for 2 variants to coexist? The original dies. So
yeah.
It's so weird.
Well, first of all, we know they're planning a Loki season 2. That's the only show I think so far that has been confirmed to have a a second season that I can think of right now. So we know they're going to get 6 more episodes of this series.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm assuming that whatever they do to the timeline to create the multiverse and whatever happens in Doctor Strange is going to allow for multiversal versions to survive. And what this opens the door for, and I think Spider-Man also may touch on this, is if the multiverse is allowed to exist, we might see Miles Morales, Spider-Man. You know what I mean? We might see these other versions of characters exist in the main continuity of the sacred timeline because of the fact that, you know, they're not going to have anybody to stop them if the TVA goes away. If Sylvie and Loki stop the TVA and they take control of that space, they're going to want chaos. That's right up their alley. They're going to want anarchy. That's what they want. A mercenary here has a thing, a funny statement here. He goes, a courtroom situation is a vetting process for recruiting for the TVA.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they seem cooperative, they're like, okay, they'll probably give them like an ultimatum. It's like, okay, or you just give them a deal or something. They're like, work for us. You could keep going or erase.
Yeah.
And so most people probably take it. So,
I mean, this is exactly, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what they were alluding to because when they talked about the agent who she was inside of her head or whatever at the beginning of the episode, we see that they do have lives before they join the TVA. But the crazy thing is inside the TVA, time doesn't pass, which means they only age for whatever time they're out of the TVA.
Out hunting, right?
So if they're on the field for 5 minutes, they only age 5 minutes and they go back in the TVA. And so they can live for thousands and thousands and thousands of years because of that. So that would make sense to me. So it seems to me like we talked about this briefly. Is the TVA the actual antagonist of the series?
That's what I said in episode 1. I'm pretty sure they're the bad guys. And at the end of the day, that whether or not they get destroyed, and we'll see what happens, because we still don't know what happened with all the timelines that she sent the reset charges, or not timelines. She created timelines by sending reset charges to a bunch of different areas to create or to allow for the variants to take place. It's very weird how that would work because the reset charges reset it back. I don't know. I'd have to assume
we're not really sure how. I mean, we don't even know exactly how the reset charges work. If they have a timer on them, or
I think they said something like it just kind of is just in a localized area that it affects. It's not like that entire timeline. It's just that certain part, so it doesn't affect anything else.
So whoever would have made a certain decision to go and do something else that just got reset, so maybe they could still make that decision, or maybe they did make that decision.
Well, because they always say we have X amount of time to do this before it's unfixable.
Right.
Which I also thought was interesting. I know it wasn't in this episode, and we forgot to mention it, but they do sort of explain why you can't just time travel around and do whatever you want, because there's only certain like spots in time that you can go to move around, because things fluctuate. And so that makes some time travel impossible. I know that's just an excuse.
Yeah, 100%, but that's fine.
But
that's their rules and they stick to it. Right.
Yeah.
If that's their rules, as long as they stick with it.
Yeah. Do not break your own rules.
Don't pull a Legends and say you can't do X, Y, Z, and then literally go do it and not have repercussions.
Absolutely.
So if that's your reason, that's fine. Don't change it later.
Yeah. So we get them there. So the premise here is that there's the ship, the Ark, that's on this moon that's supposed to escape. But Sylvie tells Loki that no one makes it off this moon. Like, it's a complete total disaster, and there's no survivors. It is an apocalypse. So he's like, well, we know, let's take this. Well, actually, I'm skipping over a part. He took the time band and has it on him, and she can't get it. So he's like, we'll go there. We'll use the power supply from this Ark to power the band, and then we'll escape off of the moon, which becomes a disaster because he makes an ass of himself on the train, and they end up getting an altercation on the train. He gets thrown out of the train. She follows him because he has the teleporter, and it gets broken. So then the plan changes, and they're like, oh, we have to figure a way to get out of here. So now we have to get to the Ark and help the Ark get off the planet or whatever.
Yeah.
One of the big reveals we had on the train before we move forward, though, is that they did confirm that Loki is bisexual. That is confirmed now, in a very subtle way, which I think is the best. It was a perfect way to handle it.
Exactly.
Why they gotta show bisexuality in all my goddamn? But shut up.
Right.
It's Loki.
But not only that, but it wasn't like one of my big complaints about shows when they do diversity in TV is like there's the idea of like ticking off a box for the public.
Yeah, pandering. Is it actual, reason for it, or is it just
organic
pandering?
in the
This didn't feel that way. This felt to me like, oh, okay, well, he is, and then they just moved on
He's
from
a
it.
shapeshifter and everything, so
Right,
yes,
right.
whatever. And
So I
it
like
ties
the
in
way
with
they
the
handle
actual
it here
mythology
versus
based
other
off
stuff.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
it's whatever.
But that was a big deal. I saw it all over the blogs and all over the outlets and stuff like that. And there were people that were obviously really angry about it because that's internet outrage.
I don't want all this bisexuality in my stuff. All these queer people. Just shut up, dude. Just shut up.
I thought they handled it really well. So it's been introduced, and we'll see what they do with it. Like from here on out, I don't really know where it's going to go from here. We'll see. Anyway, so they get kicked off the train. They have to go save the Ark or whatnot. So they end up walking there, and once they get to the city, because it looks like there's one big like New York type city on this moon, and all the wealthy people were on the train. They arrived, they're being taken to the Ark and whatnot, and all the people in the streets are rioting. And I think it was interesting, like you hear the people on the loudspeakers saying, go back to your homes, you blah blah blah. And it's like, who's gonna listen to that at this point? I mean, like you see what's happening here. So they arrive and they're like literally running through the city to get to this Ark. They're going in the back alleys, they're running through buildings, they're doing everything they can to get there. Stuff is flying all over the place. There's gravitational anomalies. Now, a lot of people were saying that Loki used magic to stop a tower from falling on him, but I think that was just an anomaly, a gravitational anomaly. I didn't see him actually do it.
No, he actually kind of goes like that and it stops.
Yeah.
I thought he was doing like that, like
no, he goes
no,
like
he
this.
goes like that.
And it pushes it back.
Yeah.
People are theorizing what happened. He has telekinesis. He's used it in the MCU, just not to that grand scale.
Which is why I'm wondering, why didn't they just add a magical effect so we could tell that he was actually doing? Because it's such a ambiguous.
I didn't think they needed it. I perfectly understood exactly.
Some people were like, "Oh, he used the time stone." He doesn't like. Okay, if he used the time stone, the only reason he could have used it when the thing broke and not broke it.
Yeah, absolutely. The only reason I say they kind of needed effect is because of the fact that they've used effects for magic in everything else ever in the series, including Wanda's telekinesis. Not having an effect leaves the door open for like, well, what was he doing there? What was going on? And I think I've seen people complain about it. Just a flash of green would have been all they needed. Something.
But I'm still mad that regular people can throw Loki around. So whatever.
Well, you say regular people, we don't know if they're actually humans. They may have like enhanced strength.
They are not superhuman. They're not.
Well, no, they might have close to Asgardian physiology. They live on a moon. We don't know what the whole premise of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff they just haven't explained, so it's whatever.
But I think you're right. The reason why they're not explaining it is because they're like, we just don't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah, we have to point out every single thing for you guys. Come on,
so we're gonna just do it.
I mean, I get it. But maybe we'll see more than that later on. They never explained it though. Yeah, I mean, they never did. But anyway, so they get there, and of course, as they're standing there getting ready to go to this Ark, a big, huge chunk of that other planet just smashes. It yeets the top of the Ark. Like the whole top of that thing is gone and whatnot. So they're stuck on the planet. I honestly didn't think that was going to be the cliffhanger. I was like, this can't be the cliffhanger, right? Like, this is no way, because it just felt like a weird place to put a cliffhanger. So what do you think is going to happen now that now that they're stuck there? How do you think they're going to move forward? Because clearly they're not going to die on this planet. So
I'm not sure. Maybe Mobius finds them.
I guess, but they probably got their hands full with all the other stuff that's going on.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like to track them down. And then be like, "Oh,
that's the least of their concerns right now, honestly."
So that's really weird. And if they are able to somehow fix this, then they are going to be stopping an apocalyptic event, which is going to really create issues. So the end of this episode really does set up this week's to be a major episode.
Yeah,
even though this one was kind of a lull, but we got a lot of information from Sylvie and things of that nature. So I don't know what they're going to do to get off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I really wasn't too vested in this episode until the very end. That's when the rock crashed into the arm. I'm like, oh, they're stuck there.
Yeah. They're stuck there. I think Mephisto will show up and get them and take them to Wanda, right? And then Doctor Strange will put him in another dimension. Yeah, I don't know.
What about Professor X though, or Onslaught?
He could show up. Yeah.
Or the Shi'ar Empire might show up and do some stuff.
I see some people
Phoenix.
See comments about boring episode, and some people saying it was a slow episode. Look, here's the thing.
I would say it's slow. I wouldn't say it was boring.
I love lore and backstory.
Yes,
like you could give me 5 hours of that, and I'm gonna eat it up because I love that kind of stuff.
My favorite source book in all RPG, tabletop RPG. This is nothing but lore of like the entire timeline from like 2011 to like the current.
I'm the person that reads all. I'm the
lore.
person that watches all the cutscenes in every Final Fantasy expansion that we get. Like I'm that person. I love that story.
Until I get bored. Skip. I watch it until I get bored. I'm like, okay, this is boring. Skip. Okay, this is boring.
There was a fight there.
This is interesting.
Right.
Okay.
As long as the people that are acting out the characters are interesting, they can hold my attention. Typically. Yeah. But I can understand why people would feel that way, because if you're not into like backstory and setup, it's not going to matter to you. You had to turn your screen off.
Yeah, someone wanted to see it. That's what it was. It's just nothing but lore.
Right.
My favorite book.
Because saying something is boring is an opinion. So that's not why I don't care. If somebody found it boring, they find it boring. But for me, it was not boring at all.
I totally understand if you find it boring, but I was interested.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
So with all of that being taken into account, what would you guys score this week's episode?
To me, it's the lowest I think I've given an episode of Loki so far. I would only give it a 6. I think it was just above average. I think the ending was great, and I think the conversation between the two were great. I think everything in the middle was forgettable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I would give it a 7 because, like I said, I like lore episodes, but it didn't really get too exciting until the end. And there was actually
everything in the middle is forgettable.
Yeah, there was actually a ex-coworker of mine I used to work with. Who absolutely loves Loki, loves Tom Hiddleston. She was even like, "This is kind of boring. I hope he gets better later." I'm like, I can't disagree.
Yeah, I would give it a 7 out of 10, only because I like lore, but I don't think it's good enough for an 8 for me.
Yeah, definitely.
An 8 would be a lot more. So I think somewhere between a 6 and a 7 would be where I feel like it's.
Does that mean that Owen Wilson is carrying the series? Because this is the first episode he's not in.
I think that no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I like Owen Wilson. Trust me, I love Owen Wilson.
Wow.
But I don't think it's him. So,
wow.
But there's a lot of theories in it. Hello, introverted unicorn. I see you just got here. Sorry you didn't get it. Nobody's getting notifications anymore on YouTube. So you guys, if you're not getting notifications, hit the notification bell twice. Whatever you got to do.
Well, no, don't hit it twice because it'll take it off. So hit it 3 times. Twitch. A lot of my followers wait for the notification for me to go live because they don't follow me on Twitter, which you should follow me on Twitter because I post when I go live there. But they got my notification that I was live 4 hours into the stream.
Jeez.
I got a notification at 2 a.m. that you were going live on my phone. It said going live. I'm like, there's no way you're going live at 2 a.m.
Dude, that's why I actually left.
Yeah. So make sure you didn't.
I told y'all I was leaving.
No, you didn't.
You have to hit the bell, and then you have to go in and hit there's another. It's like a bell and something else in there. Like I don't know what it is, but there's another option in there to get all.
And make sure you're still subscribed, because some people have been saying they've been unsubscribed from my channel. I heard a lot of other YouTubers say
that's fake.
It is fake.
I'm sure
that's
is. I'm like, dude, I've been subscribed for this the entire time.
I also look on TikTok. Like I get a lot of streamers that'll show up there, and they'll be like, it'll be their video of streaming to one viewer, and they're like, oh, I do all this and I stream to one viewer, but I do it because I love it, and they'll get like 40,000 likes, and it's like they're lying to you. You would never if you're someone that gets 40,000 likes, you're not streaming to one viewer. Sorry, not happening. Yeah, Thomas says make sure the bell icon. Oh, here we go. Make sure the bell icon is filled and it's not just the outline. Okay, well, there we go. Little knowledge, inside knowledge there.
Yeah, Ralph Boner next episode. There we go.
Confirmed. I saw
All right,
a fly on the wall.
So a shorter stream today, but the episode was shorter. There wasn't a lot really to.
There wasn't really much really going on.
We talk about the trailer a little bit, so there's that. So a couple things about my channel. If you guys were not aware and you are not part of Team Eric, I'm doing members only live streams twice a month. The first one was yesterday. So in 2 weeks, I'll be doing another one, and then 2 weeks after that, I'll do it. So every other Saturday, basically, that I'll be doing live streams for members only. So if you want to join Team Eric and take part in that, feel free to do so.
Torch screen. I can't talk. Never mind.
So yeah, make sure if you want to do that, do it soon so you can join us for live streams. And there's a lot of other stuff going on there. There's going to be some more exclusive content. Now that I'm done with Lucifer, I'm going to be doing season overviews. My first season overview for Lucifer, like just the season overview, will be out at the beginning of July. I'm finishing up season 2, which, by the way, I think season 2 is even better than season 1 so far. I'm almost done with it. So really enjoying Lucifer, and I'm caught up. So have either of you finished Lucifer, or have you already watched the?
I never watched it. My mom watches it.
The first season when it was out, we were watching other shows around that time, and then I watched a couple episodes, and I never caught back up.
Okay,
it's a good show though. From what I've heard.
Yeah. So anyway, do that. Also, there's other things. You get custom emojis and badges that you can use during the live streams. As you guys can see, Thomas, Unicorn, there are all using their badges and their emojis and all that stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. Laura also as well. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the people who supported the channel. It means a ton for me, so I do appreciate it. I think that's it for now. Batwoman's finale is tonight, I believe. I think it's the finale. So if anybody's excited for that.
Is it the series finale or just the season finale?
The season finale.
Okay. So I don't keep up with Batwoman.
Yeah, I hear it's trash.
Yeah, well, it's gotten better, but it's still not at the level of some of these other shows. So, all right, before I wrap things up, this is the 2-minute warning, but I'm going to give Cyber and Omega a chance to do their outros before we head out. So, anything you guys want to talk about?
Go ahead, Ree.
Oh, you can follow me there at oh right.
Follow you where?
This thing right here.
Okay.
I changed it. Shut up.
Wow.
You can follow me there at on Twitter. I'm also on DeviantArt. I posted 2 pictures over the weekend. One's not safe for work, and I haven't really been on Twitch much. I am like actually later on tonight. I actually might start streaming some more of Mass Effect 2. Try to finish that off, and also you can follow me. On Twitch. It's also saying Omega Veltal. That's about it.
All right, Cyber.
Guys, it's easy. I'll make it short and sweet. It's this name over at Twitch and here on YouTube. Content on
and
YouTube
Twitter
be picking up as well. It's everywhere. It's all socials. Follow me on TikTok if you want. I don't really post anything.
Oh yeah, I'm also on TikTok too. I don't post anything though.
Well,
I do, but it's rare and it's not normal. It is not like super funny content. It's usually just content.
Look, y'all can send me twerk team stuff.
Yeah, okay.
No, because all I get on TikTok is like stuff for like ancient history, like forbidden history and stuff for like, especially like I get this one Native American guy talk about like all the stuff that's been happening to Native Americans over the centuries and stuff. I'm like, wow, that's messed up. I never knew about this. Okay, where do I find the twerk team stuff? This the whole reason I got on this. This the whole reason I got on this site. Where is it?
All you have to do is follow a bunch of them, and then they will suggest a bunch of them to you.
I told him just search.
I got a bunch of conspiracy theory stuff on there.
It has a search function.
But you love conspiracy theories.
Yes, I do. Which I'm not angry about it at all. But I'm trying to find some big booty white girls look because I'm black. That's our kryptonite. Let me shut up. You go ahead, man.
Introverted Unicorn with a $10. You can't see it here, but I can see it in the chat. $10 super sticker and a Team Eric member. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All the support is much appreciated. So thank you for that. Thank you. So it's a couple of people talking to you about jump scares there.
I did
Phasmophobia.
I did Phasmophobia. That is a game that we quite frequently play. I
like that game, but after like 4 or 5 runs, I get bored.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
good game,
this
though.
guy, but I
That's just me.
thoroughly enjoy it. And
Yeah, it's a
so
good game though. Great game.
we play it quite often. Usually it's every weekend that we play it, but there's a couple times during the week that we play it as well. So go back and watch it on Twitch. The VOD is not as good as live because when you're a Twitch affiliate, they scale down your quality. It is what it is. When I upload to YouTube and you guys are watching it on YouTube, that is Twitch's quality. That's all they allow me to have with
Speaking of Twitch, we got to chime in from Twitch. Hey fam, hope
no, that's Turbo Mitt, man. Don't you know who that is? That's Greg.
Yeah,
that's MVC2 Greg.
Yeah,
come on now. What's going on, Turbo Mitt?
Oh, you actually know. I thought she was just playing.
No, I'm for real.
No, we know Greg. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Marvel 2 player, man. Cool guy.
MVC2 in the house. You know what we should actually do? We should do a throwback stream where we're actually just playing MVC2. That would be.
I'm saying we could do that.
Amazing.
I got a capture card. But anyhow, so follow me over on Twitch, YouTube. But the quality is not as good as live.
They don't want these hands. They don't want these hands. They don't want these hands.
It's free. Follow me everywhere.
Just like I'm free. I don't play that game. I'm terrible.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I think we've reached the end of the rope here. So I will chat with you guys on Wednesday. And that's pretty much it. So we will see you on the next stream.
Wait. Yeah. Next week is 4th of July. We're not doing a weekly geekly next week, correct?
We'll do it on Monday.
Okay. That's what you gotta let the chat know. See, I'm doing your job for you.
Yeah. I was willing to do it on the 4th of July.
Yeah, I ain't doing anything.
I'm not doing anything on 4th of July.
Y'all do it on the 4th of July, but me and chat are going to be doing something else.
Okay, we'll do it on July 5th then. So next week, the Weekly Geekly will be on, or we could do it on Saturday. We could do it on the 3rd. I mean,
I'm free.
We'll figure it out this week. Either way, it will not be on Sunday. So there you go. We will accommodate everyone for an American holiday. There you go. Wonderful. So anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.